Imagine this: you're at your own funeral. Friends, family, and colleagues gather around, each waiting for their turn to share something about you. But here's the question: what do you hope they'll say? What impact would you want your life to have made on them and others? This is the exact question Stephen Covey invites us to consider in his powerful book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Now, ask yourself, are you living in a way that aligns with what you'd want people to say about you? Are your daily actions building the legacy you'd be proud of, or are they simply filled with the busyness of life? Covey's 7 habits offer a path to realigning our lives with our core values and reaching our fullest potential. These principles are not just quick tips, they're a life philosophy, a roadmap to becoming the person you truly want to be. In today's video, we're going to break down each of these 7 habits so you can start applying them in your own life. We'll go over each habit with practical examples, actionable challenges, and strategies for making them stick. And if you enjoy videos like this, make sure to subscribe to keep up with more insights and tools for mastering your mindset. So, let's get started with the first habit, one that lays the foundation for all the others. Be proactive. Think about the last time you felt stuck, frustrated by something outside your control. Maybe it was an issue at work, a challenging relationship, or even global problems like the economy. Covey observes that most people spend too much time in their circle of concern. This includes things that stress us out but lie beyond our control, like other people's actions, political issues, or even the weather. Reacting to these external factors often leads to stress, frustration, and a sense of helplessness. Now, let's consider a different approach. Imagine 2 colleagues, Sarah and Alex. They're in the same department, with similar jobs, and they face the same challenges: tight deadlines, high expectations, and a demanding boss. Sarah spends her time venting about the workload, complaining about her boss, and stressing about things she can't change. Meanwhile, Alex chooses to focus on what he can control. He improves his skills, organizes his tasks effectively, and finds ways to streamline his work. Over time, Alex builds a reputation for reliability and resilience, while Sarah remains where she started, trapped by her frustrations. Covey calls this habit be proactive. Proactive people take ownership of their responses to life's challenges, focusing on what they can influence rather than what they can't. They spend their energy in this circle of influence, on things within their control, like their attitudes, their efforts, and their responses. This week, identify 3 things you can control and commit to focusing your energy there. It could be setting aside time to work on a skill, organizing your tasks for clarity, or simply changing your attitude in a tough situation. Notice how your perspective shifts when you're proactive. When we start being proactive, the next question is, what should we focus on? That brings us to habit 2. Begin with the end in mind. Let's go back to that funeral scene. Covey's second habit, begin with the end in mind, encourages us to envision the legacy we want to leave. This habit isn't about obsessing over the end, it's about guiding our daily choices by defining our values and ultimate goals. Think of it this way: if your life were a story, what message would you want it to convey? Covey believes each of us needs a personal mission statement, a guiding principle that reflects our deepest values and intentions. This can help you avoid drifting through life without a clear purpose. Imagine a successful entrepreneur who starts each morning by reading her mission statement. This daily reminder helps her make decisions that align with her values and goals, so she avoids getting sidetracked by distractions or superficial success. She asks herself, is what I'm doing today aligned with my vision for who I want to be? Take 15 minutes today to write down 3 words you'd want people to remember about you. Maybe kind, courageous, or innovative. Let those words guide your choices and interactions this week. With your vision set, the next step is to prioritize actions that align with that vision, bringing us to habit 3. Put first things first. Most of us would say our top priorities are things like health, family, or personal growth. But how often do we actually put these things first? For many, the majority of time is consumed by urgent tasks, emails, work assignments, social media, while the truly important things slip by. Covey's third habit, put first things first, is about prioritizing your time around what truly matters. He suggests focusing on activities that are important but not urgent, things that add real value to your life, like quality time with family, exercise, learning, or working on personal goals. Consider someone who values family above all, yet constantly stays late at work. By the time they get home, they're too exhausted to have quality time with their loved ones. Covey teaches us to block out dedicated time for our true priorities and to treat them as seriously as any work deadline. This week, choose one activity that reflects your highest priorities and block out time for it. Whether it's 30 minutes of exercise, an hour of quality time with family, or an evening to work on a personal project, make it a priority and stick to it. Now that we're clear on our priorities, it's time to expand our mindset. That's where habit 4 comes in. Think win-win. In a competitive world, we often believe that for us to win, someone else has to lose. Covey's fourth habit, think win-win, encourages us to reject this zero-sum mentality. Instead, he invites us to seek outcomes that benefit everyone involved. Imagine two authors, each with an audience of 100,000. Instead of competing, they decide to recommend each other's books. Suddenly, both authors reach new audiences and grow their readership by supporting each other. This is the magic of win-win thinking. Success doesn't have to come at someone else's expense. In fact, when we support each other, everyone can thrive. Win-win thinking helps build strong, trusting relationships. It creates an environment where others are more likely to support your goals, just as you support theirs. This week, find one situation where you might typically think competitively and consider how you could create a win-win instead. Maybe it's offering help to a colleague or finding a way to work together with someone on a shared goal. Notice how your mindset shifts when you look for ways to lift others as you rise. With a win-win approach, we're ready to build deeper connections, starting with the next habit, which focuses on understanding others first. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. When was the last time you truly listened to someone without preparing your response? Covey's fifth habit, seek first to understand, then to be understood, emphasizes empathetic listening as a foundation for meaningful relationships. Imagine a manager who actively listens to her team's concerns without jumping in to justify her decisions. She gains valuable insights and earns the team's trust, creating an atmosphere where everyone feels heard and valued. By first understanding others, she is then able to communicate her own perspective more effectively. This habit can transform conflicts into opportunities for collaboration. By listening first, you build trust and create openness for others to truly listen to you in return. In your next conversation, try listening fully before you respond. Notice how the other person's mood shifts when they feel genuinely heard, and see if it opens up new pathways for connection. When people feel understood, they're more open to working together. This brings us to habit 6. Synergize. Covey's sixth habit, Synergize, is about the idea that when we combine our strengths, we can achieve far more than we could alone. Imagine two people trying to pick apples from a tall tree. Alone, they can't reach the branches, but together, they find a way, one lifting the other to gather the apples. Synergy isn't just about teamwork, it's about valuing and combining each person's unique strengths. When we appreciate each other's differences, we create possibilities beyond what we could achieve individually. Covey shows us that synergy brings creativity, innovation, and growth, whether in personal relationships, professional projects, or communities. When people collaborate with respect and appreciation, they generate outcomes that surpass what they could do on their own. This week, think of someone whose strengths complement yours. Find a way to work together, whether it's on a project at work or a shared goal in your personal life. Experience the power of synergy by creating something together that you couldn't achieve alone. As we grow and achieve more, it's crucial to stay balanced, which brings us to our final habit. Sharpen the saw. The last habit is a crucial one. Covey calls it sharpen the saw. Imagine a man struggling to cut down a tree with a dull saw. When someone suggests he sharpen it, he replies, "I don't have time." We laugh, but many of us do the same thing, pushing ourselves to the brink without pausing to recharge. Covey divides renewal into 4 areas: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. By regularly refreshing each area, whether through exercise, learning, connecting with loved ones, or reflecting on our purpose, we keep ourselves balanced and effective. Choose one area of your life where you could sharpen the saw. Try a small action, whether it's taking a 30-minute walk, reading a new book, or reconnecting with a friend, and see how it renews your focus and energy. These 7 habits: be proactive, begin with the end in mind, put first things first, think win-win, seek first to understand, synergize, and sharpen the saw are a powerful framework for creating a life of purpose, fulfillment, and impact. Try focusing on one habit each week. By the end of 7 weeks, you'll notice real changes in your life and perspective. Based on the themes of the 7 habits of highly effective people, I recommend Emotional Intelligence by Daniel Goleman as the most fitting choice. This book delves into understanding and managing emotions, a topic that aligns well with Covey's principles, particularly around building strong interpersonal relationships and seeking to understand others.